there is our squad from Brazil, the Brazil flag here in attendance as well. And there's a few Brazil flags sprinkled all over the courts here in Rothenbaum. And there she is, Thamela Corradello. There, our Italian squad, Valentina Gottardi, Marta Menegatti. There she is, Valentina Gottardi. She is second in blocks per match in this tournament with 3.17 per match, and third in attack points per match with 16. Marta Menegatti, her partner, guess what? She is first right now in the tournament with kills per match at 17.67, a huge gap from her to the second place team. Yes, she has been served a good amount of balls, but she is siding out so efficiently and rising to the occasion.
58% side out coming into today's semifinals. We don't have the numbers just yet, but 58% seem to be about what she put together against Switzerland. So Marta Menegatti, the veteran, trying to get her first Elite 16 medal with young Valentina Gottardi.
Victoria starting out with the jump serve, pressure on Marta Menegatti, and the cut shot is dug. This ball close to the net, a chance here for Italy. Menegatti resets, cut shot again, Victoria's there, and that ball threw into the net. Not able to get back in. A long rally to start off this bronze medal match.
Long rally to start off, wouldn't expect it any other way, and this is such a difficult play for Thamela to make, because is it in the net, is it going to come down? I just don't know. She tries to pick it early. Such a difficult play.
Laser focus here from Marta Menegatti in this bronze. Tight ball, good swat for Valentina. Menegatti is there. Can she turn it down? She does! Marta Menegatti putting one down in transition.
And those are the blocks that we mentioned in the lead-up. Valentina Gottardi, if her block is getting set up strong, if she's in the right places, if she has the right timing, it's going to be an issue for Brazil getting active at the net early.
2-0 start for Italy. Thamela takes a look. She cranks one to the cross court. She's had a good warm-up.
That's a little Christian Sorum stank on that one. No top spin. If we get a replay of this, watch the lack thereof on spin. It doesn't look like we're going to get one. So that deep angle spatch is so difficult to dig.
Yeah, when you don't put the top spin on there, it just makes it even harder to defend. That's what Sorum does so well. And speaking of doing things very well, the knuckles of Marta Menegatti, world class.
World class. Her and Rice Schoon, I'm nominating as 1, 2 in the Beach Pro Tour Poke Power rankings. The Triple P.
Trademark that, copyright, Triple P Poke Power rankings. Thamela out of the middle. What a touch there from Valentina, and Thamela looking to poke long, and it goes long. The good hustle from Italy to keep that point alive.
And Victoria is not hiding her feelings on the decision from Thamela, where she could just come down, lob up Victoria for an option, or just play all three. Instead, she goes for a poke, sends it long. Might be a bit nervy in this medal match.
And how about that high line? Everything going towards the angle and then letting that ball drift, chipping in line.
That was just perfect from Thamela. As again, like you said, she has that nice angle, core facing the back angle the other way, and then just a nice snap, thumbs up line shot.
Undefendable there. Nobody up. Thamela pulling early. Marta Menegatti attacking her.
I love the poise that we're seeing from Italy, and Brazil just needs to settle into this match a little bit. Thamela's just getting a little bit hectic it seems, where she's making rushed pull digs, not her best decision-making thus far. And this is her first quarterfinal in the Elite 16 since she won that gold in Cape Town almost 2 years ago. And so if there's some nerves, it's very understandable.
As the match progresses, expect Brazil to calm down, calm those nerves, and settle into this game. And that's a calm vision shot there from Thamela.
Excellent poise on that shot from Thamela, and it seems that the scouting report is in. Now, these teams, this is the third matchup between these two teams. We saw one earlier. This is the first match for both of them in this Elite 16. Went all the way to 19-21 in the third set. They've played 2 matches in 6 sets between them, so they're very familiar despite the small sample size.
And here's Gottardi looking to go cut shot, keeping that wrist high, but just not enough, and it stays in the net.
It was the right shot from Valentina, just tries to make it a little bit too perfect.
I like the variety from Valentina. We're used to seeing a lot of heat, a lot of power from her. That time she's opted for the cut. I'm sure it will go down next time she goes to use it. No next time. Here is the ace from Thamela, dances its way to the middle.
And we have mentioned time and time again the difficulty of passing out here in Rothenbaum Arena in Hamburg. It is the #1 most difficult statistically and anecdotally place to pass. This is the most aces we have seen in a single tournament all year.
Gottardi goes behind. That time, power is required and power is applied.
That big step close from Valentina. And what I love about the way Valentina approaches is that step close was the same as the one where she hits the cut shot. She hides her shots and swings so well.
The trickler ace, and that is a fierce look on the face of Valentina Gottardi.
Valentina Gottardi, 2023 Rookie of the Year, 2023 Most Improved Player of the Year, the 2023 Server of the Year, showing she's got everything.
It's a long list. Another tough serve. Victoria handles it well. Victoria all day. Down the line, Marta Menegatti not there.
Excellent. And Victoria Lopez was fantastic in what was a very decorated partnership with Tina Silva. Just missed out on the Olympic Games, made a number of podiums at the challenge level. And so this is a level that she is very comfortable playing in.
Cut shot, Victoria. Speaking of her, she is there. Good vision from Valentina. Fist up and a brilliant shot.
I am really liking what I see out of Valentina as far as poise go, where when you have a young athlete like this, 21 years old, still looking for her first Elite 16 medal, and someone as physical and jumpy as Valentina, a lot of times the adrenaline comes and you just want to swing at everything, and she's making all the right shots right now.
Running float to Thamela, handled very well. And that's a smart swing, out of reach of the pulling Valentina.
Excellent. Knew she didn't need all the power on it, just find that deep middle snap and it's going to go down.
Oh, Thamela looking to go extra short there, doesn't quite have enough. Gottardi, that ball was dancing but handled pretty good. A joust at the net. Poking on the run. Victoria with the left. Can she put this one down? Good pull dig from Valentina. When Valentina was coming in like a freight train, but finds the tape and out of bounds.
So many elements of that play were fantastic. First, the poise from Valentina off the soft block to then go set it right here. Watch, she stays nice and calm, waits for it to come down. Beautifully done. Lopez makes a nice dig, and then Valentina redirecting it back to the middle was a nice set, a good opportunity. Just all around Elite 16 podium-worthy volleyball.
Menegatti swatted from Thamela. Another chance here. Valentina, the walk-off banger.
And that's what I mean when I say that when you can swing as hard as Valentina does, it's so tempting just to do it every single time. And that's what makes her shot so good, is that when you see her coming up to swing, you just get anchored in, and that allows her to hit nice and crisp shots, but that opens up everything. Those high, deep swings.
Just an absolute pleasure to watch Valentina Gottardi approach. So powerful. And don't need to be powerful every single time, as Thamela shows us there. You can use some finesse.
As my good friend and one of the winningest players of all time, Ken Steffes, likes to say, it's a simple game, Trev. You just hit it where they're not.
So easy. Only 2 players out there. Find the sand. Tons of space. Valentina looking to poke. Victoria all over it. Oh, and Victoria Lopez up the line in transition.
And it's good to see Victoria smile. And she's one of the more stoic competitors out there. But when this team gets going emotionally, when they're on the right energy wavelength, emotional wavelength, when they're right there mentally together, they are so dangerous.
10 all on the board. Back and forth we go. That ball just took off the hands of Thamela, and we'll enter our first technical timeout. Like you said, Travis, a little nervy, I think, from Brazil, trying to find that rhythm, find the flow, and to be expected. Big moment, and settle into the game.
Yeah, I think there's been just a settling in period. And I think that goes, no matter if you're Pablo Herrera and you've made roughly 2 billion medal matches in your career, you're still going to get amped, you're still going to get adrenaline, you're still going to get some nerves. That's why they're still playing the game, because there's nothing that makes you feel so alive as a semifinal or a medal match in front of a nice crowd. And it's a good sign if you're a little nervy. And now you've settled in. Both teams have. It's 11-10 at the Tech. And now we're going to see the chess match come out between 2 very evenly matched teams.
The beach game is a chess match. Giving up one thing to then take it later on in the match. What makes this sport so fun. It's just you and your partner out there. How well can you support your partner? How well can you communicate and give them, her or him, that energy and that confidence that they need to lift up and find ways to score, find ways to win. Both of these teams looking to find ways to walk away with a bronze medal. Gottardi slipping up on that end line there. And Thamela with precision on the end line.
And the look from Valentina when that ball went down, it was just a raise of the eyebrows and an exhale. Just one of those, there's nothing I'm going to do about that. That's a darn good shot.
Short serve, and that is a brilliant short serve.
The short middle, I think, is one of the most dangerous weapons in beach volleyball. I think the short serve in general is probably the most underutilized weapon, but then that short middle is just so nasty.
Gottardi down the line, trying to bounce one into the stands.
That is a massive swing from Valentina Gottardi. I think heaviest arm on tour. You're looking at it right here. Valentina, this is just a monstrous swing.
And only 21 years young, so much time to grow, the wisdom improving every single tournament. Menegatti, talking about wisdom. What is she going to do in transition? She got the knuckles. Victoria did her homework. And back down the line. Victoria's having some fun out there.
And he said Victoria did her homework. She must have watched the film from the semifinal where Menegatti was scoring at will almost with those short pokes against one of the best defensive teams in the world in Tanya Huberly and Nina Brunner. And Victoria Lopez was prepared for it and an excellent shot in transition.
Part of a top 10 team in the world. If there was no country quota, she would have been in the Olympics. And that is a smooth line shot there from Valentina Gottardi.
Undiggable. Undiggable from Valentina, mixing it up well, has swung deep seam, has swung line, swung angle, cut shot. She has had a variety of offensive attacks. Unsure about the serve to go at Valentina after they just got a dig on Marta.
Deep float off the platform of Thamela. Somehow Victoria gets it up for a spot. That is bettering the ball.
Bettering the ball is exactly what you need to do. This is an imperfect arena to pass, right? It's the #1 hardest place in the world to pass, as evidenced by it being the highest ace count. And so you need to be ready to set the ball and improve the pass, and that's exactly what Brazil did.
Another short cross-court middle serve. And Marta Menegatti calmly into the high line.
Almost throwing some side spin on that one is Marta. Just a little corkscrew sizzler.
Here's another look. And again, Thamela, excellent spot on the block. And as we know, Travis, both of us being blockers, if you can put the absolute perfect block up there and that high line, there's nothing you can do about it.
Nothing you're going to do about that one. You just have to continue to set up plays as the match goes on. You find their tendencies and you set up what's called a late 4. So you dive angle, Victoria moves into the line, and that might be the play that we see them break out when they need it most.
Good control on that pass from Victoria. How about it? That is saucy little cut shot there.
And Victoria, it's just such a nonplussed reaction from her where she does that all the time. And this cut shot, watch how sharp this cut shot is. Now she puts a little loop on it so she can hit it a little bit sharper, crosses further across the net. No chance on that one for Menegatti.
15-14 Brazil. Valentina comes in again with the power. And problem for Brazil, perfect lineup again for Thamela, but it's just too high.
And that's no problem for Brazil, really, because if a mistake isn't made, this is Elite 16 beach volleyball, you're not going to pick it up. You need to make them, just wait for them to make mistakes, and no mistake was made.
Nice. Trouble set and soft touch. This Brazilian team showing us how to work different angles of the court.
Dainty little cutty from Thamela. Beautiful little teardrop. Look at that, just dangling right around the block.
Right in the small space of the court. A lot of confidence for that shot.
Now watch the timing on this move on Menegatti. This is a 3. So we're going to have Victoria Lopez move late into the angle just like that and sends it wide as Menegatti. And so the point of these dive plays is to mess with the timing of what you see. Now Menegatti, one of the best vision players on tour, so you have to mix up your timing. You have to start one place and end up in another, and that's going to throw off her vision and have her hit errors just like that.
And like you said, sometimes all it takes is a little bit of different movement to mess with the vision. We want to disrupt. We use that word a lot, disruption. How can we disrupt the offense of Italy? Marta, guess what? She's first in attacks and kills per match with 17.67 in the whole tournament. And so if you need to disrupt anyone, that's the player you're going to try to disrupt. And it's different for every player. Some players use more vision. Some players are feeling the block, feeling the defense. And so it depends on what strategy and what team you're playing.
And Marta, at this point in her career, she's made 4 Olympic Games. She has seen every type of defense you could throw at her, and so her vision, it's going to be based on whatever it needs to be based on. Now, with a smaller team like Brazil, they can be sneaky. Me and you were both undersized blockers, and so we're not going to get in the face of, say, a Stefan Bormans, but you need to be sneaky, get out of their vision line, and pop up somewhere else where they can't see you, and that's what Thamela is able to do.
Yeah, Thamela standing at just 6 feet tall. Deep serve. Back to Menegatti. Menegatti there identifies the moving Victoria. Cracks one cross court.
And so that's what we call the 4 block, right? So Thamela starts in the line, dives late angle. Victoria starts in the angle, runs late to the line, and Menegatti beats it with that nice sizzling cut shot.
Over on 2. Cheeky play here from Victoria.
How do you say gangster in Portuguese? Because that was gangster, Victoria. This is a bronze medal matchup in Elite 16, and she just takes the easy road. And the precision required to do that and to get that to go down on Valentina, it is difficult.
Yeah, Valentina, one of the most dynamic blockers when she makes moves off the net. Talk about dynamic. Menegatti coming in aggressive there, brings her team back to within just 1.
The way that Menegatti plays, it reminds me so much, and the more I see it, it reminds me so much of Christian Sorum, where she has every shot in the book, one of the best vision players out there, an exquisite passer, and she's still able to put a nice little pop on that one. She's got some power in there.
Victoria's got some pop as well. And they're just having a lot of fun, and they're playing confident volleyball.
Confident volleyball. And Victoria Lopez, as I mentioned, this might be her first shot at an Elite 16 medal, but she's been on podiums for challenges with Taina Silva over and over and over again. These are moments that she's accustomed to, and it's showing.
Back to Valentina they go. Valentina with the high snapper, but that is dug. It's over. The set's a little inside for Menegatti. Good cover, but no! It's Thamela securing a big monster block late in this first set.
And you said it, Kyle. Set was just a little bit too far inside Menegatti. Her step close was short. You see that broad jump to the side that takes the height off that high line. And Thamela, phenomenal timing.
Here's Gottardi to stay alive. Down the line, Thamela looking back at Victoria, wondering where she was.
I just love that reaction from Gottardi after the high line shot goes down. She starts walking away, celebrating as soon as she comes off her hands. Watch this reaction. She's already walking away from it.
18-20, second set point here for Brazil. Trying to sneak it down the line. Valentina Gottardi will have none of that.
And that wasn't the best swing we've seen today from Thamela. This one had no chance. It was hard to tell from our angle if it drifted a little bit tight, but credit to Gottardi taking advantage of a poor swing.
Another tough serve, pushing Thamela deep a little bit. Good timing on that swat, but excellent cover from Brazil. Oh, stop it. Thamela bringing out the knuckles to end the set.
Incredible poise there from Thamela. And how about that joy that we're seeing on the faces of the Brazilians? Now, I want to go back to that block on the initial cut shot from Gottardi. Watch Gottardi's footwork. Shuffle left, then jump. It is a fantastic block move, and credit to Thamela for following the ball and then the savvy poise right there on that poke shot to close the first set, 21-19.
We talk about countries and their ability to refine and establish themselves in certain skills. Germany and their serving, Brazil and their holding. I also feel as Brazil's covering is one of the best, those small touches that they do so well. I mean, usually when they have their practices, you got 3 or 4 coaches at training just tossing balls in left or right, but Brazil showing they know how to cover today.
And a fun warm-up game played by anyone who has been coached by a Brazilian, which is probably everyone on the Beach Pro Tour. A little hataria, where you can just throw it. Everything's legal, you just keep it off the floor, and it just produces the ability to get all those weird touches. You kick it, you head it, get your chest dig, chicken wing, whatever it may be. Anna Patricia, probably the best in the world at the weird touches, and that's just the hallmark of any Brazilian player or any player who is coached by a Brazilian.
Start of set number 2. Thamela coming out with a rip.
And the good thing for Italy, generally you want to be beat inside of your defense. And so that means that Valentina has an opportunity to touch it with the left, and Menegatti had an opportunity to touch that with the right. It's when you're getting beat outside, that means that you didn't have a chance at it.
Gottardi cranks one, but it comes back even faster on the side of Italy.
And Thamela's reaction on that, she was almost surprised by it, by how fast this comes down. Look at this right hand, kaboom.
Pointing to someone in the crowd as well. She liked it. Gottardi here. That one was moving in fast motion there. It was hard to even see it in real time.
I love seeing how players respond to getting blocked or hitting an error. And Valentina says, you blocked me in the angle, try doing it again.
Nice roll up there from Victoria Lopez, and holding the finish is Thamela.
Thamela's feeling it now. We mentioned maybe there were some nerves to that first technical timeout. Nerves are gone, and I forget what soccer player said it, but they said you're going to have butterflies. You just got to teach them to fly in order, and it seems that Brazil has taught them to fly in order. Now they are embracing and living up to the moment.
Short serve, that cross-court middle shorty. On the line, Victoria, a little 180 over on 2 is Thamela, and possibly a touch off the block. Poking there. Guess who's there? Victoria. The short middle, not short enough. And putting another dent on the sand is Gottardi.
And the crowd is loving that one. Now, I have to commend Victoria Lopez on her ability to read the game. As that second dig she made, that was an angle block being set up by Thamela. I don't know what it was that Victoria saw, but she just walked into what should have been a perfect high angle shot given the defense, but she read it, made a play, and made Italy earn it on the way back.
Deep, tough float. Thamela using her vision, and it drops, and Thamela can do no wrong right now.
And that's twice now we've seen Italy go for that big angle block, and twice that Thamela has beat it. Now, Menegatti is getting closer and closer to it, so we'll see if there's any adjustment made. But the out-of-system set from Victoria Lopez was also fantastic.
Nice bump set there. Victoria everywhere, sliding in, going over on one, a la Laura Ludwig.
Now, we're going to have Laura Ludwig in the house with us for our next bronze medal match, but that is just the trademark of one of the greatest to ever do it. When you can just walk into a shot like this, your platform now becomes a manner in which you can attack. And look at the reaction from Thamela. It's just so wholesome.
She loves it. These two, they're playing for each other, is what I feel like. They have embraced the moment. The nerves are gone, and now it is just swaggy confidence and joy on the court here for Brazil. And that's how you want to see players play.
A lot of joy, and this has been an interesting day for Italy because they've had a phenomenal tournament. You're in the semifinals of an Elite 16, but even in their semifinal that went the full 3 sets against Nina Brunner and Tanya Huberli, they started slow every single set where we mentioned it. Early timeout, down 7-3. Early timeout, down 4-1. Early timeout again, and here we have a 5-2 slow start again for Italy. Now, they've done an exceptional job responding, but that's the question being asked now is, can you do it again?
And it is hard to continue to do that, I think. And a reminder for fans at home, this is just the 3rd time these two teams have met. The second time was in pool play, where Lopez and Thamela take down Gottardi in 3 sets. There's a good swing for Menegatti. It's a good timeout for Italy.
Nice angle on that one for Menegatti. Carved it a little bit sharper and takes just a little bit of pace off, not the full swing. She takes that pace off to get it sharper. Another perfect positioning from Lopez.
Overhead goes Thamela. The Thamela looking for some hands or anything, and she sends it wide.
Good timeout for Italy. 2 straight after the break, and you have the best server in the world back at the line.
Another tough serve. Thamela using the vision on the run. Menegatti is there, but can't put that ball up with some height.
And it's interesting defensive timing on the move from Italy, as again we see Gottardi takes this big shift into the angle, and Menegatti was timing that just a little bit later. I think if Marta left a little bit earlier, she's going to make that dig.
Menegatti cross court, and she's starting to feel it offensively.
Victoria's reaction is perfect on that one. She just puts her hands down, just calm down. It's a perfect swing. Let's just get back and serve receive.
Service pressure continuing on Thamela. Oh, and it's so soft. The poke back there. Valentina gets a hand on it, but it's too good.
Taking a page out of Menegatti's book. The soft poke shot just around the block of Valentina Gottardi. Now that is dangerous to play with that shot with Valentina because she is one of the most dynamic blockers at swatting those short ones and then turning and burning and picking it up.
Valentina trying to go across court in a late dive into the angle. Thamela, another block.
And Valentina's reaction, it was almost as if she was confused that she got blocked again. Now watch, this is a double angle. Lopez shuffling line and then shuffling back into the angle late, and Thamela with a big reach into the angle.
Short cross court middle serve creates an overpass. Brazil using really good tactics against Italy right now to create opportunities.
And it's just disruption. They're disrupting everything that Italy's doing. They're changing up the defensive looks. They're changing up the timing. And what Thamela just did, the ball control required to make that play, to spin around and have that nice pass, that is a very delicate, difficult play to make, even if it might not look like it, especially for a new team. This is just their second tournament together, and that's a play that sometimes just falls to the ground.
Another short cross-court serve. And there's one of the first options we've seen there from Italy.
It's not often you see Valentina Gottardi in an offensive hole. And so it's not often that Marta Menegatti will need to option. So nice, smart play, taking some pressure off the youngster.
Tight pass, good save from Victoria. Back towards the line, just like in practice for Thamela.
And I just love the vibes on this Brazil side right now. They're smiling, they're laughing, the energy is light, the mood is light. They're just enjoying their time, and they are looking primed to win their first Elite 16 medal as a team and first Elite 16 medal individually for Victoria.
Trouble, save, Victoria on the run. Can Thamela keep it over? A little confusion on the side of Italy. Down the middle, what a save from Italy, and Marta Menegatti finishes it off.
Menegatti, smooth is as smooth does, and she is just such a smooth, controlled player. Fantastic snap into the deep seam.
Emoji Man likes it. We like it in the booth. 10-7 Italy. Trying to climb back. Victoria, this set's a little inside. Oh, and wraps it back towards the sideline, almost using the forearm there, but finds it.
We've seen a lot of excellent volleyball play today, and I think that Victoria might be putting the most complete match of any individual right now.
Here is Gottardi. She opts to go behind. Thamela there again. It's the late move, Travis. Surprise. I'm here.
And when Thamela was playing with Toledo, they were split blocking. And it just shows the versatility of Thamela Cordero. But now she's a full-time blocker, and she's roofing one of the best offensive players on the entire Beach Pro Tour.
And she's signaling to Victoria to go back for more. And cross court, looking for some hands, and Thamela, not only is she balling out here, she's honest as well.
Getting the good karma points. So I always think, as a player, I always wrestled with this. Do you call it and hope for the karma points, or do you not call it? I always thought the karma came and helped me out at the end.
Let's see if the karma helps Brazil out. Victoria on an open net, and that is not a good idea.
And I don't know where the answers are for Italy right now, because they're trying Thamela, they're trying Victoria. And at this point, I think you have to keep the ball as far away from Victoria Lopez as you possibly can, because she has been flawless in this entire match. She's making all the right reads on defense. When she stays in her position, it's the right decision to do so. Offensively, in transition, she's been phenomenal. There's just no answers to be found right now for Italy.
You want to disrupt their offense, and maybe it is some loopy high deep serves to work the long approach and mess up their timing. They've messed around with some short serves, but that's really not working as well. Like you said, whether they're hitting or whether they're shooting, Brazil, they're on fire.
And at this point, you have to start trying some maybe uncharacteristic things, a couple double-ups. Give them a completely different, bizarre look for players with this type of vision. Sometimes when you double up into an angle, you expect one of them to move, and when none of them does, you just hit it right to them, and you're left sort of confused as to why that happened. So at this point, you have to try anything to disrupt the offensive flow from Brazil, but first things first, you have to side out, and that has been the biggest issue right now for Italy.
Out of the technical timeout, 13-8, Italy just looking to find a little bit of rhythm. Over on one, and Victoria had the rhythm right now.
She's on it. That's her second over on one kill, perfectly placed, perfect decision. And if I'm Italy, I might experiment with switching sides. Try Valentina on the left, just give them a different look.
Excellent pass. The option goes down, and that is something different. That is staying aggressive and helping your partner out.
Menegatti making the right choices on the options. That's a fantastic pass from Valentina to put Marta in a position where she could take it on two. And now the unsolvable riddle will need to be solved. What do you do to earn a point against Brazil?
Nothing you can do there because Thamela is consistent and pure, and the high line just continues to drop.
Nothing you can do. And there's a look at Arthur. He's got his popcorn, watching the girls try to bring home a bronze medal. Arthur, no stranger to podiums himself, had a fantastic year this year with Evandro Goncalves.
Valentina, a little inside out rip down the line. That's got to feel good for her.
This is one of those scenarios where you want the highlight plays to be worth two if you're an Italian fan, but a dunk is worth the same as a layup, as my coach used to say in basketball.
And a first little error that we've seen from Brazil after that tough serve from Valentina.
There's one. She's the server of the year for a reason. And now she needs to find that line between being risky and responsible. She needs to keep the pressure on them. And she does. A middle ace, back-to-back aces for Valentina Gottardi. And Brazil is going to take the smart choice and take a timeout. Still up 15-12, but not quite as comfy as they were.
There's another look at that right on the end line, and as we spoke with Sven just a couple minutes ago about the difficulty of passing these balls, and even when you are training in the indoor facility like the Germans are, they move so much, they dance so much that it is just a nightmare. It is so difficult to pass, and you saw right there, Brazil didn't want any of that, didn't want any of that one. They might have thought that one was going out, but of course, the ball does what it wants, has a mind of its own, and she drops in.
And the crowd here deserves its love. As most crowds at these annual European stops go, fantastic showing out here in Hamburg, as it was a fantastic showing in Brazil as well. Deserves its love and credit for having phenomenal crowds. But this is where Italy can make their run. This is where they've been fantastic all day long. They dig themselves a hole, and then as the match gets closer to its end, they just evolve and they meet the moment.
Trouble again. Good save from Victoria. Watch out below. Oh, it's a net violation, Travis.
And what an incredible one. What an incredible serve from Valentina Gottardi. Almost gets a third ace. Good sportsmanship being shown between Gottardi and Thamela. And you saw that swing from Thamela, just the follow through, and she was arguing that the ball was down and the ball hit the net, Kyle.
I think she was arguing, I think that she was arguing that the ball was possibly down before she even netted. It's hard because the hand is moving so fast.
Another out-of-system pass for Thamela here.
Back to the line she goes. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
That line has been the well that she has gone to. It's been the bailout. That's the term that we use with Betsy Flint and Julia Scholes, and I'm working with them. Where's the bailout? What is the defense leaving open? And the high line has been left open.
16-13. Option again, just kissing that sideline.
Left a finger on that ball too, and you can see the smile from that guy. She knows she mishits this one, as you can see from the lack of topspin on the ball, but that reaction was perfect.
Okay, no problem. Next point. Got away with one. Thamela here. Where does she go? Trying to go fast line. Bingo, bango, bongo. Valentina Gottardi with the block.
This is what Italy has done the entire day. Down a couple points, no problem. We will trust our defense. We'll trust our serve. Now they're down just one.
And the look on Gottardi's face, she means business. Here's the short serve, trying to disrupt the offense of Brazil. What a cover. Another block. Gottardi everywhere. Can she get one more? She gets the pull dig. This place is going to go crazy if she gets this point.
You mentioned that look from Valentina Gottardi. Watch out. And you mentioned the covering of Brazil. Twice they covered, 2 phenomenal swap blocks from Valentina Gottardi. And then what does she do? Oh, she pulls off the net, makes a perfect dig, and then puts it away. 16-16, and here comes Italy, 6-1 run.
Can Thamela answer the call? She tries to go to the line, another cover. The cut shot, Menegatti on the dig. Oh, and that was a freebie for Valentina, and she's laying on the sand a little frustrated.
And that's a tough one because that cut shot that Menegatti dug, probably going wide. And you have to play the close ones, and I think that was probably half a ball to a full ball out. She plays it, it's close, because the worst thing you can do is let one stay in bounds when you're there. Just a tough break for Italy.
This match wrought with tension right now. 17-16 Brazil. Menegatti ties it back up.
Now, can Valentina Gottardi keep the service pressure? She had 2 straight aces, almost a third on the one that Thamela hit the net on her follow-through. She can earn another one here. I think we're going 3.
It seems that the momentum is on the side of Italy. What a pass. No one up for Thamela, and we've seen it before. Valentina pulls, and Thamela just keeps it away from her.
And I don't mind the decision for Gottardi to pull, but I think Menegatti at this point, when she sees Thamela in a position that she could go seam, as she has done time and time again, I think that's one where Menegatti could shift into the seam and make that play.
Yeah, it's always a challenge when you pull and your defender decides, are they going to crank to the middle? Are they going to crank to the sideline? It's almost a guessing game to take your chances, play the probabilities. Menegatti trying to put up Valentina. She tries to go fast line, and she finds the net, not the lift she needed.
It was an excellent set from Menegatti. Puts Gottardi in a position where she had a swing at it, staying aggressive per usual. Start with the service pressure from Brazil. This is a must side out for Italy.
Chance at redemption here for Gottardi, and she rises to the occasion.
Rises in a number of ways. She just floats in the air. This is not a trampoline she's jumping off of, folks. This is pretty deep sand out here in Hamburg, and that is just a beautiful cut shot.
Continuing to stay on Thamela. This ball's a little bit off the net. Unbelievable Thamela. Maybe she can host a clinic on high lines. I think we're going to attend that one.
We're just going to keep making our clinics. We have the Brazilian pulling, covering, and high line clinic, courtesy of Thamela Cordelli, coming up after this match point for Brazil.
Man, oh man. 2018. Here is Gottardi. Down the middle, Thamela pulling a little bit early.
A little bit early, and that's a dangerous pull. I don't care where the ball is when Valentina Gottardi's hitting it. I'm staying at the net. Pulling's a dangerous proposition.
19 serving 20, a second match point for Brazil. Thamela back to the line. It's open, it's available. Brazil jumping for joy. They've earned the bronze medal.
And you can see the reaction of what photographers call the jubilees, the jubilation on one side and the dejection on the other. Jubilation for Brazil. A huge congratulations, parabéns, as they say in Portuguese, for Victoria Lopez.